Hello, all you dieters. I know it's been over a month since I've posted anything, so this is going to be short and sweet. It's just here to say I'm back on board. I'm going to start doing videos again, and I'm going to start sticking to a plan again. It's been a rough month. I had a long haul of my cat being very sick, who was very young, and it was kind of partly my fault for not being aware of how much she was supposed to be eating, or he was supposed to be eating. Um, So there was a lot of mommy guilt that went along with that. I am not the kind of person that goes through trauma, tragedy, depression, sadness, hard times, and doesn't eat. I'm the opposite. So it has been a rough month. The upside to help me get through it is after the first week of trauma and turmoil, my daughter came home for 3 weeks from California. So she was here when we had to put the cat down, and she was here just distracting me and being here for a week, and then she was here to help pick out another kitten. After a week, I realized I'm not going to be able to go much longer. We had a kitten that was the opposite of our last cat. This one's small. Our previous cat was big. This is a girl. The last one was a boy. This one is frisky and full of energy. Our male cat was as lethargic as they come. I mean, just everything. I can't even. Her meow is completely different. I'm trying to think. There's only one thing that they're similar on, and I'm trying to think of what it is right now, and I can't recall. Um, but at any rate, it's very amazing how incredibly different they are, which is fantastic. We specifically looked for a cat that was very different from the one we had before. I almost thought about going with a dog. Wasn't sure I was ready to make that kind of commitment. And we didn't see the perfect one come up anyway. We were just kind of looking. So we got a cute little kitten. We named her Cosette. Our last cat was named Mr. Gimli. Gimli was after the dwarf character in Lord of the Rings. Mr. because my older daughter always wanted to name a pet Mr. something. And at the time, our whole family was finishing up watching the series of Lord of the Rings, so we let my son pick out a character name, and then eventually we all voted on the one that we thought was the cutest. So Mr. Gimli was his name. Our family's favorite musical, even my son enjoys watching, is Les Mis. There's fighting and battles in it, but it also has amazing music. And so we named our new little one Cosette after the female character because we wanted a female name for her. And she's also very small. When I looked up Cosette in French, it means little one. So it was kind of perfect. We have my daughter who's in the entertainment industry in California, appreciates the fact that we are doing a movie again. So let me introduce you to Cosette. Hi. She's sleeping on my lap, so she's looking she's looking at me like, really? She is 3 months old right now. So tomorrow she actually has her final vaccine that we have to take her to the vet for. So that'll be her first vet appointment since we got her from the shelter. She was in a foster home for a while. She was only in the shelter for a very short time. So she was loved at all times. All right. So as I mentioned, during this time of grieving, and I still probably have, see, my eyes will tear up if I even talk about it. Probably have at least one time every day that I'm still crying. And it's been a month. So I don't know how long this is going to last, but the guilt of not being more aware of what was happening is very real. And my heart goes out and breaks for those parents who forget that there was a kid in the car, or mistakenly back up over a child, or I mean, it was a cat. He was my soulmate. He followed me everywhere in the house and summoned me to him upstairs where he liked to hang out if I was downstairs. Like, he was an ever presence in my life, and always in this house. We got him the first Christmas we moved in this house, so this house is connected with him too. Or maybe it was the second Christmas, but at any rate, it's still very hard. And he was very dog-like in many ways, did tricks, would give kisses and play dead and do all that kind of stuff. I always had dogs growing up, so I just raised him like a dog. Um, anyway, we're not going to talk about him anymore, but I'm very proud that I just got through all this without crying. That was the first time. So here's Cosette, and she will be on my lap during all my videos because when I teach my classes in the morning, she comes and jumps on my lap. Another thing that Mr. Gimli didn't do, but then again, he was almost 20 pounds, so he didn't really jump up on my lap much. He just wanted to be pet from afar. So we'll see if she'll continue to do that, but at this particular time, because she's still a kitten, she's still very loving and loves attention. And I'm very happy to give it to her. Right, Cosette? Give me a kiss. Thank you. Oh, nice kisses. She grooms me. All right. So I'll be in touch. I just also, as soon as my daughter flew back, the next day I went to a resort with a girlfriend who has these timeshare points. She invited myself and one other gal to go to this resort that was up in Michigan, about 7 hours away, and we stayed there for 5 days, and it was delightful. Went to the pool for 4 hours, 3 days in a row, and the other days just kind of hung around the ski resort and went up the ski lift and did some hiking, and it was good. It was all good. Um, but we ate there, and of course, when my daughter was here, on top of eating my troubles away, I wanted her to feel like she was getting out and doing things because in California, you can't go inside any restaurants and that. Only if they have enough room outside for tables can you sit there. And most of the restaurants don't have a lot of space because they're pretty landlocked and their patios are very small because, I mean, it's even hard to find out where do you park to go to these restaurants. They're more in like on the street, they're more, like right on top of each other. Not like things are spread out here in the Midwest. So we went to a winery, we went to some restaurants, and we supported local businesses. There's 2 local chocolate factories here in Cleveland, and so we went there and got chocolates. I mean, we just had a good time. Went to a farm. Now that's outdoors, but she was shocked that people didn't have to wear masks because in California you have to wear a mask all the time when you're outside. Not just, at least in Los Angeles County where she lives, not just not just when you're around people, like at all times. You have to, anytime you're walking on the street, anytime you leave your home and you go outside your home, you have to have a mask on. So she appreciated just having a good time. Most of the amusement parks are still all closed in California, so we went to Cedar Point for the day. Just really had a good time and ate a lot of food. So I give you the background, not to justify, but to explain where my headspace has been. But my one girlfriend who I went on the trip with said, hey, when we get back, we're going to lose weight together. And we are going to text each other every day what we're going to eat for that day. So it's going to be planned out in advance. So based on the amount of food I've been eating, today's going to be a rough day. Just having lunch and dinner. But we'll see how it goes. And I'll be in touch, and I will continue going through the protocol for those of you on HCG and letting you know any additional stuff that I haven't covered in there. And also, I am willing to look into and talk about any other diets that you are curious about. And I'll share information about those too, because the time's going to come where I'm going to have all my HCG topics covered. And then have nothing to say. That might be the end of the channel. So let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about or cover. In the meantime, I know that there's plenty other sections left there. And I will, I'm sure, have ups and downs and peaks and valleys and other things to share with you about my personal journey on trying to get rid of these extra lbs that I put on. I put on the COVID-19. There is no doubt. I put on the COVID-19. COVID-19 is on this body and it needs to come off because prior to the COVID-19 I was overweight. So I really have much more than 20 pounds I can afford to lose. So here we go. The beginning of a new journey. This was longer than I expected it to be. Sorry about that. All right. I'll talk to you not too long from now. A few days maybe. Take care. Bye.